in
as the Hokage.
in terms of in terms of being a bad father.
Well, just being bad. Because I said this before. The bad father thing is one thing. If he was good at his job, like because
He
of the
is good at his
sacrifice.
job.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Name someone else
He
who
means
can
in
lock
terms of
up.
the paperwork part.
Okay,
He's
no, he's
bad at
trash.
the
He's trash.
paperwork
He's
part of
trash.
his
He's
job.
trash.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, no, no,
yeah,
wait. The paper, like that part too, but then also like the decisions he's making, like or Shikamaru's like, yo, don't bring that fucking kid in this village, and then like look at what happened. Yeah, like the dude makes
Hey, nah, I ain't
emotional
gonna
ass
lie.
decisions, bro.
I ain't gonna look.
Well, to be
Going
fair,
the
in the
Gonzo
short
route is
term,
the
it
right
was
answer.
beneficial.
Yeah,
Like if he
they ended up
didn't
needing
do
him.
it, then Ishiki just gets Kawaki, and that would be
But I'm saying
long
like
term
from
worse.
our perspective, we can look at it and say that, but like when he's in real time, given the information he has,
He
you gotta
probably still
remember
believes in his decision, though.
the only thing that he knew was the name Kara and that they were after him. He didn't know Kawaki's name. They didn't know what he wanted from him. He didn't even know who that kid was. And he just started like emotionally like tethering himself to a person he knew absolutely nothing about and put
I
him in
agree
his
with that.
house, in his village. That's why Delta Jigen, Koji was camped up in a fucking a hut, like spying on his kids and shit. Like it was fucking weird, bro.
Now
All he
that's
had to
facts.
No, actually,
You
bringing
spit
up
on that one.
Koji is a fair thing because if Koji was just a bad guy, that's a good what if. Like, what if Koji was a bad guy? Like, they're fucked.
They're dead. Himawari
Eh.
is gone, bro. Like
Yeah, I definitely
like-
see a situation where it doesn't go too well from there. I'll give you that. But
But
as far as
just
the
look what-
decision
just look
making,
what-
I don't know about that though. I don't think that saying that like him bringing Kawaki in general is like just a unilaterally bad decision. I don't.
I
Even
think he
if it
should've-
has bad results.
Because
think
to
he should've
Naruto's
done-
knowledge, he should still be the strongest person in the world. And for the most part, he was. The only person stronger than
And
was
he's doing the
Jigen. But
right
Naruto has
thing.
no reason to think that there's just some dude
He's
that
arrogant,
strong
too.
walking
He's
around.
arrogant in his power to make that assumption without like confirming it. Like the stakes are pretty high. And then also like people confuse this position I have. I'm not saying he should not have done what he did. I'm saying he should have done it the way he did it. Like he needs to be around Kawaki. They could have done that shit they did with Ada and Damon. Just have him on the outskirts in some fucking like condo or some shit, or like have him in some facility around like other
I
shinobi his
agree.
age,
I
like he
can
did with
definitely agree
Boruto.
with that. I can
Don't
100%
bring
agree
this
with
unknown element in your fucking house around your kid and your wife. Because look at the conclusion.
he's
Like he has
spitting.
to slap that dude. Say you're fucking insane, bro. The only person that holds Kawaki accountable is Boruto. Naruto's like, oh, you ain't gotta do the face. We'll just go buy another one. Even Himawari's like, oh, you don't have to do that. Nobody holds him accountable but Boruto. The best thing that Naruto did was pair him up with Boruto. Even to this day, Boruto punches Kawaki in TBV. Wait, Chaos, have you read
Or,
Boruto?
yes, we're
Okay.
quite deep in the trenches.
Okay, bet. So he punches him, and he still holds him accountable. Like, bro, you pitiful. You ain't been training. Go work out, boy. Nobody holds this dude accountable but Boruto. So that was the best decision Naruto made. But everything else,
I mean, if he did,
Yeah.
well, I can definitely understand the perspective of the Ada and Damon point, but
Yeah, I
from
agree.
Naruto's perspective, he could be thinking what this boy needs is a normal life based off the intel he's got about who Kawaki is.
you could provide that
And so he
outside
kind
your
of, like you said,
house.
Boruto is the
I
best thing
agree.
he
Kamui,
did.
you're going
He
about us the
kinda
wrong way.
wanted Kawaki to be around Boruto.
No,
Like
you
that
can't-
was something he wanted.
You can't
Not
approach
disagreeing
it
with
from
any of
the
that.
emotional point because that's Mello's point. Is that's the mistake. The
I don't
so
agree with that either. I think the emotional point is the right way. You should have compassion for others, but
but
outside
no,
your
but-
house.
this is
But
about
why-
making decisions
why,
for the
though?
world
But he
as
didn't know anything
Hokage.
about him.
This isn't about being a
Well,
father.
yeah,
It's
but,
about being
like-
Hokage and what the correct decision
Yeah,
there
but, like,
is.
being Hokage involves being a good person. The whole reason, the cycle.
No,
of
it
hatred
doesn't.
Can be broken. Is Naruto's whole.
Tobirama's
Yes,
Hokage.
it does. Because the whole point of Naruto is being able to like change the world the way he has, because his whole way of talk, his whole thing, breaking the cycle of hatred. If he goes about things just beating everyone up or treating people with that same hatred of locking them away in isolation,
That's not what
the
I'm
same way
saying.
He was. That's how you. Well, I'm
And
just saying.
Naruto's not Hokage
Can
to
I-
the
can I
world.
ask a question?
Naruto's Hokage to the Leaf Village.
Yes.
If Naruto's, I want to ask this question. Does Naruto's perspective of what a Hokage is influence your answer to this? Because if Naruto's opinion at this current point is that a Hokage should essentially be a father to everyone, including his actual child now, if that's his perspective of what a Hokage should be, should we be taking that into account then?
Because he's doing his job right then. By his
Because that would be if he believes that's what a Hokage must do, and he does that because he's like, I'm Hokage, I must do Hokage things. Does that influence your decision, your opinion on that?
I keep saying this because it's not. I agree that he should have done what he did, just not how he did it. I don't have a problem with the like him being like empathetic. That's just his character. Like you could even take that from him. It wouldn't even be the same character. My problem is how he knew nothing about Kawaki. Ninja's art is deception. What if what you see at the surface is not the truth? What if he like Shikamaru was the fucking right Kage? Like he's so fucking smart. He kept telling him like, "Yo,
He's too
we don't
cold.
know. He could be a spy. We don't know about this fucking dude, bro." And like he gave him sound, reasonable advice. If you listen to Shikamaru, the world doesn't get omnipotence, and everyone's minds get violated against their consent. By the way,
But they died at Ishiki though. Because who's to say that the only reason Kawaki was willing to even go out of the way and help and get close to Naruto and learn the jutsu he was able to do to stall through Ishiki was because he trusted Naruto and had that closeness.
It's not. But what I'm saying is, do all like Shikamaru just said, don't have him in the village. I think they should have had him, like I said, on the outskirts. Naruto ain't home any fucking way. Go over there, be with, like, live in that place with Kawaki. I think all that should have happened.
Actually,
Like have Naruto.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
under that hypothetical,
cohabitation with Boruto and like all the other kids, I think all that should have happened. I think he could have got socialized. He could have been in everything that occurred could have been
You're
done
spitting a little
away
bit
from your
there, Mello.
family, away from the village. So when Delta shows up, she's not in the middle of Konoha. Your kid doesn't get captured and almost murdered by laser beams, okay? And then your ward, the kid that you're trying to protect, doesn't get his arm fucking ripped off and blown off because you're like incompetent. Like,
Or he might get
told
kidnapped because he's away from. Because keep in mind, Delta got there fast as soon as she saw him. So I mean, who's to say Naruto would have been able to make it there quickly?
well, I think he's assuming Naruto's in the cohabitation here.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I think
Yeah.
Well, then I'm cool.
you've
with that.
got a very good point with that logic, but I'd be curious about this is just the first thing that came to mind. I do think for Kawaki's character growth and becoming a good person, integration with the village does play a good role, a helpful role. I do think you would lose that in this case.
They're horrible
Yeah.
fucking people. You don't want him. No, because I think it's a
They
detriment
are.
to be around those fuckers. No, bro.
What they do with the
I agree
Uchiha
with Mello on
is
that. No, those people are literal
No, but
bullies.
without the
Fucking
village
people.
integration, does Kawaki grow as much?
This isn't
I
about
don't think so.
Kawaki's
You're
growth.
Nah, I think he's right. I think Kamui's a point there. And I don't think he rose as much.
You
as
guys
that,
are
because
approaching
even
from the
good and
emotional.
bad-
You guys are proving Mello wrong when I'm the one here who can actually address his points. No offense.
Wait.
When I say wrong, I meant right.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm agreeing with most of what he's saying. I just
Wait.
think that the emotional aspect is the route he should have went.
No.
Yes, just not the way
And
he
the only,
went
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
exactly. I'm with Mello 100%. The only thing, actually, I agree with the fact of not keeping his house too. I think that would have been a way better answer.
Oh
What
my
I'm saying is, like,
god, you
look
guys are
look at who
crazy.
actually influenced him in terms of socialization. It
Sake.
wasn't like it wasn't Joe Blow
Sorry,
down the street at the local
Naruto, I mean.
Thunderburger, like the random villager. It was like Naruto and his age group, and like Shikadai, and them playing card games and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and shit, playing video games. The people who actually helped him socialize were shinobi who could have been in the cohabitation with him doing the exact same thing away from the fucking village.
Maybe that's why they did it
protecting
that
the
way with.
citizenry.
Hold up. Maybe he's the reason they did it with Ada that way is because of Kawaki. Maybe it was a retroactive lesson. Like, all right, we learned our lesson last time. We can't just be, doing it like that because everyone keeps. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Granted, they probably could have learned that. No, they should have learned that ahead of time, though. You ain't wrong. Like, you really are wrong.
Well, Shikamaru was. If Naruto listened to fucking Shikamaru from the beginning, bro. Like if they would have worked together like they were supposed to, a little of Shikamaru, a little of Naruto, I think my conclusion is where they would have landed. But it was just all Naruto. He didn't even take the advice of his advisor, bro, who is like smarter than you, by the way. Like you should probably listen to this dude. There's a reason why, like towards the end of Boruto Part 1, Shikamaru's holding everything down. He's the strategist. He's the one, like, cause he's better at the job. Yeah, Naruto's more emotional. He can empathize. He can maybe inspire him better. That's fine. He's more powerful, all that good stuff. But the job,
The management
he's really
element of
good.
the job. Because hold on now, the Hokage's job is to defend the village. We ain't seen something put it like get rid of the brass and tacks. Your job is to stand on business when someone comes to your village.
He's standing on business.
That's the Hokage's job. And let's be clear here, Shikamaru's not touching like any of the major threats here. He can handle the management. I'll give you
Neither
that.
would Naruto.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey, fair enough. But until the season.
Well, think about when Naruto showed up against Ishiki. He showed up with no new tactic, no new strategy, no real plan.
Barbarian mode.
He didn't know about that at the time.
True,
when
true.
When Ishiki was in Konoha, he jumped up and tried to punch him, and like he got kicked. But he said, "Oh, he is strong after all." It's like, yeah, dude.
Real quick as a small side derailment, Ishiki was dumb to not just go back to the village, because like, so what if they would follow him back to the village? He gets his asset back. The village as like the, hey, I'm gonna destroy the village and Naruto, everyone's gonna be weaker. That's assuming that they can even follow him back. They're never gonna get him with the trick again to send him back to that green grass dimension. Like, Ishiki really should have just been like, yeah, let me go back. Like,
It's like wild, bro. It's like if you're a Konoha citizen, you're like, man, do we get a say so in this shit? Like, they didn't even like Kawaki, bro. I think they was talking about Kawaki behind his back, since we're talking like having him integrate with the citizens. Like, them people don't fuck.
I was in the
nobody.
code arc, but that's
Those
after
people are
Ishiki
awful.
came. They didn't really have an opinion yet until then.
Well, I'm saying, like, just like, could you, like, hey, yo, like, I'm living life, and you keep having this kid here, and these motherfuckers keep showing up. Like, can you get them the fuck out of here? Like, move around, bro. Like,
That's
why
what
is
they did
he
with
here?
Naruto, though. That's what they wanted to do with Naruto. That's probably why he fought against it so hard.
Oh my god, early Boruto's
but,
aren't
like-
so bad.
But look at who
Get the pulled up.
socialized Naruto. It wasn't like the citizens. They fucking was dog
Oh,
shit.
it
It
was
was
Ichiraku
other
Ramen.
shinobi his age, and like Iruka and Kakashi.
And Ichiraku Ramen. Don't forget our homeboy there. He held it down.
Fair. That's fair. That's
I tell
fair.
you, what about Nishi from the ramen
Yo,
shop?
stop. Just stop.
Nishi.
Like, it comes full circle. It comes full
Shut up,
circle.
All right, Oodie, you've been wanting to talk for like 3 years. Go ahead, say
Oh,
your
sorry,
thing.
Oodie.
Talk
We
for
ain't trying
10
to have to,
minutes.
like-
Well, at this point, I'm pulling up the chapters because I'm just that far invested into this.
Oh shit. Udi about to he about to
Yeah. That's just that. Like,
Hold up,
your turn.
I got the
Okay.
receipts.
Well, I'm trying to find the receipts still, but I'll cook anyways. So Naruto's making the objectively correct decision because hypothetically, okay, let's say he does do the
Wait, can you
cohabitation
share your
mission.
screen?
I'm still trying to find what I'm looking for. But he does the cohabitation mission. So then, is Naruto going to station himself outside the village too? So what happens when the village is attacked? Or when Kara knows Naruto isn't there, so they attack the village to get Naruto to choose between the village and Kawaki?
So one quick clarification. When I say like because like Kawaki and them are in the village, they're just in the outskirts. That's what I mean. Like they should be in the village to where like if somebody bridges the sensory bubble, they still like can be alerted. I'm not saying like they should be like. That's what I really mean. Is like away from the citizenry, away from your family and the people, like a distance out. And then also Naruto has clones. He can be in multiple places at once.
If the clones
He does
pop, it
love some
doesn't matter,
clones.
but it really matters where Naruto's main body is.
He's
But
a
even if
god,
they're
bro,
inside the
like,
village, but like on
who's
the
popping his
outskirts,
clones?
okay, well, but then
He is
it's still
fast,
it's still
right?
the
Yeah,
same
but
argument.
if you're going with that approach, who's popping his clones to the god? That's Naruto's mindset. Who the hell is going to defeat me? I'm a god.
Okay, but then there's no point of going to the
Wait.
outskirts anyways. That's
So
not the
this-
point. The point is that we're going based off the unknown, which I don't care if Naruto's confident, he doesn't know. So therefore, the possibility still exists. That's why he's doing this in the first place.
Well, just to address what Kamui said, that's my assessment. Like as a person who's viewing the series, Naruto's a character in the verse. Like his assumptions are different than mine. Like he has a bigger burden to bear. That's
Yeah.
one. And then
If
two, the
anyone
bro.
was stronger when they've shown up at this point in the story, like there was a whole ass war.
But remember, at the time he was making these claims about like, oh, I'm the strongest. He didn't meet any of these people. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have. All he knew was that the name was Kara and that they were after this kid. That was. He literally says, I know nothing but that. He didn't know his name. He didn't know his story. He didn't know anything about him. He brought him in his house. Like that's tapped.
But that's
And also,
exactly
like,
why.
Naruto's supposed to be light speed, right? Can he not like get from point A to point B
That's
real
why I'm
quick?
saying One Piece characters ain't light speed because they be missing like crazy ass point blank attacks. Like,
But that's exactly it though, Mello.
Travel
He
speed,
They
combat
absolutely-
speed.
They're not. They're faster than mine. Yeah.
because he doesn't know,
Fast and
that's
Furious.
why he should get more information or operate under the worst possible scenario so that he can be prepared for
But
any
everyone's
scenario.
Stronger?
Not
But bro,
disagreeing
like
with the
if anyone
cohabitation.
was
Get
strong, if
information.
anyone was stronger than him when they've shown up during the war for the whole world, like I'm pretty sure at this point, like it's a pretty fair assumption that hey, all the big baddies were either participating to help, stop, or cause
It's not
the
true.
war.
Because
Look.
Jigen was around for thousands of years.
That's
Look,
what
at
I'm
this point, I
saying,
feel like you're
he
just being
would've assumed
contrarian.
that.
Like, you
That's-
started on my side. You've been
Not.
brainwashed because I wasn't allowed to speak.
Me?
Yeah,
me?
you.
Me? I'm so confused.
Wait, there's two people saying me. Who are you talking about? You keep doing this.
You're talking to the
Yeah,
one
he's
I was
trolling
talking
us
to.
is what it is. Nah.
But now I got
Real
it.
quick, I will
That's what I'm saying.
say, this is a side note, that regardless of what you think about Naruto's perspective, Naruto didn't make this decision by himself. I am looking at the chapter. Shikamaru
That's what I'm
mentions,
saying.
his pushback against it, and he mentions though this isn't something you can decide all on your own. And Naruto says, "Yeah, I know." Where he then consults the five Kage, and the majority decide to side with
They're
Naruto. And
idiots. They're
Naruto
idiots.
mentions that he's hoping Boruto's presence will help ease Kawaki's wariness. So Boruto was part of Naruto's plan here. But the five
Yes.
Kage sided with Naruto, so he didn't make the decision by himself.
So my position isn't that like the five Kage aren't stupid. My position is that Naruto is. So bringing them up is not contradicting my position. Like, yeah, they can be dumb too. Like,
But some
Well,
of the
all I'm
things
saying
you're
is he didn't make the
saying,
decision by himself, though, because earlier you kind of alluded to him like ignoring Shikamaru.
exactly.
But he
You're
is
saying like he's not
listening to other
listening, but
people.
he
He's not
is.
solely making the decision ignorant of everything
well,
else.
but it's not one of those situations to where it's
say
almost
no.
like you're the strongest dude in the room, and you're like, yeah, we're
I'm
all
doing
gonna
what I
like
want.
we're all eating chicken today, and everybody's like, yeah, I kind of want burgers. He's like, nah, we eating chicken. It's like, you know what? I like chicken, and it's like one of those type of things. I'm not saying like they fear him, but I'm saying like they're arrogant in their power as well. And like they're making these assumptions like, well, Naruto's the strongest. Well, so I guess.
But
you
it's
know,
not
it's
about
like
that. Naruto's
like I
not
said, the
being
best thing
arrogant
he
here.
did
He's
was
not.
pair him up.
Naruto's not saying he will defeat the opponents. He's saying he's the most likely to be able to do it. I'll be the most suitable for this,
Yeah.
especially if those
think that-
enemies are strong. He doesn't know how strong, especially if they're strong, which they are, even stronger than him.
he
He's
says
still
he's
the
most
best for them.
qualified because they might be strong.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like Shikamaru's addressing the exact same thing you're addressing. The brat himself might even be a spy. That's why you gotta keep him close to Naruto.
So this is what I'm saying. When it comes to like Naruto the Hokage making Hokage decisions, he's not listening to the sound, reasoned advice of his advisor Shikamaru Nara. And I always say this because it's true. The conclusion of everything that happens bears my position out to be true. Look what happened. Look where all this led to. And remember, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying how you did it. He could have did all of this, socialize with him, have Boruto do the cohabitation, all that stuff. Cause they did that anyway with Ada and Damon. Wouldn't have been like a stretch. Bro ain't going on like the missions at the local land of waves no more. Like, yeah, do this mission.
Well,
All that stuff got these better results. Himawari wouldn't have got like fucking lasered, like fucking Homelander from The Boys. Okay, just lasered Himawari. Like none of that would have occurred, and everything would have happened exactly like it did, minus like the casualties. And actually, I think it probably would have been a little bit better, to be honest.
Well, really? I don't think anything changes other than this hypothetical Himawari thing. Everything else just sounds like it goes exactly the same. Ishiki didn't pop out
like something
where
that changed.
Naruto was. He popped out in the village because he had no idea where anyone was. So the casualties of Ishiki, the two guys he killed, just die all the same. And then everything plays out exactly the same.
but
There'd be no
one point at a
difference.
time,
No, I mean,
though, because
when he
Naruto's
pulled-
not
when he pulled it,
disagreeing
he
with
comes
Shikamaru.
through-
He's saying that's especially why. So he's listening to everything he's saying. He's agreeing with everything he's saying. He's not disagreeing. He's adding on top of what Shikamaru's saying.
So Shikamaru's position is sound and reasoned given the lack of information that they have.
Same
He has
with
an actual
Naruto's.
reasoned approach. Naruto, Naruto, what he's doing is he's forcing some kind of like weird emotional connection.
But
to a
this
person he
isn't a
doesn't even
weird
know the
emotional
name of,
connection, and
story of, or
that's
anything.
that's not what he's saying to
is.
Shikamaru. That's not how it starts. And it'd be weird at first because he doesn't know, like, he hasn't met Kawaki at this point, I don't think. Actually, he just got done meeting him just once. This could have been a flashback even.
Pull up the chapter.
I have it
Pull
pulled
up
up.
the chapter. Really.
I have
Chapter
it pulled up.
26. I mean, I have it up.
Yeah,
if
this is
you want
after
me
he
to share
first
it,
meets
or Oodie has it,
Kawaki.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
But he's going based off of Konohamaru's report.
Hold on.
He's not basing it off of Kawaki, he's basing it off of the report. They both read the same report.
No, he absolutely. No, wait, no, he's basing it off of Kawaki is like this child who people are hunting down, who people are like demonizing or some shit. No matter what it is, he sees himself in Kawaki and he understands like what it means to go through that shit, and so he's overlaying his emotions atop this shit. But like I said, that shit could be a ruse. You don't know, bro. Like that could be a misdirect. That could be something that was set up by Kara in order to like appeal to your weakness, your emotional weakness, and then get an infiltrator in, which is I think what Shikamaru is suggesting by him being a spy.
And Naruto
At the
says that's
very least-
exactly why he needs to be around
Wait,
him. So he
At the
knows
very least,
already.
don't have him around your kids. You could argue in like circles. I'm not disagreeing that you do something. I'm not disagreeing that he feels. I'm not disagreeing that you live with him. I'm not disagreeing that you socialize him. I'm not disagreeing that you pair him up with boruto. I'm not disagreeing that you do any of this shit. You need to do it. Just not the way he did it, because it led to his kids about to get murdered on the fucking battlefield. Him about to die, because that's what would have happened, bro. Himawari, like Naruto, at bare minimum dies. Right, because he's trying to protect his daughter. Himawari might die. But like I said, the person you're trying to protect gets his arm eviscerated. Like, he fucked up, bro. I don't know
Well,
what to
my
tell
problem
you.
with this though is if you're saying he should socialize and he should be around Boruto and all this and that, then that means Boruto and all those people are going to be exposed to the exact same danger anyway, because it's either
I don't
they're
care about
not around
Boruto.
Kawaki and they're safe, or they're around Kawaki, which is helpful for Kawaki
they're
but puts them in
ninjas.
danger. It's
I
one or
don't
the
care
other.
about That's his job. Like, he chose his
Yeah.
wife. Himawari didn't. Like, his wife
Yeah,
isn't
so we're
like
changing. Okay, if
his
your
wife isn't
whole
a
point is about Himawari, then fine. But if it's anything more than
No,
Himawari,
the
everything
Himawari
plays
point
out
doesn't
exactly
go
the
through
same.
either. We haven't even got to that yet. Himawari wasn't
No,
there
I'm
because
saying,
of
but, like,
Kawaki.
that's the
Himawari
only
wasn't there
thing
because of
I
Naruto.
think you can really discuss.
Yeah, so around Naruto's kids is the best place for Kawaki. Why? Because the best place for Kawaki is around Naruto. And then the best place for Naruto is around his kids. As long as Naruto's there, it doesn't matter if Kawaki's there, it doesn't matter if the enemy's there, because Naruto's the best person suitable to protect them.
Oodie, look at what happened in the material, bro. He made assumptions about what he can do with his power versus these unknown elements, and his kid almost got murdered, bro.
It doesn't matter about the
He was
assumptions, though,
wrong.
because hypothetically, he's
His kids
wrong.
were
It doesn't
watching.
matter where Kawaki is then. Either way, Naruto loses, and then his kids die.
No. Listen to me. I'm gonna say it again. It's not what he does, it's how he does it. Do not have this dude around Himawari. Why is she even there? Why is she there, bro? He could be a child.
Well, to be fair,
predator.
Himawari
you
is
know.
one of the reasons that Kawaki
Grizzly,
became a
no
good
Gibby.
guy. So I mean,
That's not my no. Kamui, you're taking 10 steps backwards every time you make that stupid emotional argument.
Guys,
Consider
sorry,
Kawaki an asset. He
I'm
is
going
a
to head out.
building block. He's not human in this instance. He is a object for the Hokage to decide where to place. He is a diamond in a suitcase.
Hey guys,
Naruto is
no,
making
no.
no, but like
selfish
you're
moves,
talking
bro.
about the end. The reason why I bring it
I'm
up is
heading
because we're talking about the end result of things. So if the end
Good night,
result
guys.
is good, then like we either are going to ignore the end result or we're going to bring it up.
Bro
So
is
pick one or the
he's
other.
in a timeless void with his wife who did nothing wrong. She just had to stand by the
And
decisions
that
of this
happens
idiot.
regardless.
Way
If they're all
It's
cohabitating in a different
way
house,
later.
that will just happen all the same.
What I'm saying is you don't you don't know, bro. That doesn't happen.
Why
like-
wouldn't it happen?
Because Naruto might not necessarily get sealed away. That might not happen. You never
Why,
know what.
though?
Because Kawaki would have more exposure to people his age range. Maybe Naruto things will be set up in a way to where he doesn't feel like Naruto is going to be like of danger or in danger to the point where he needs to take these like radical steps. You just never know how this shit is going to bear out in a different context. Like things could have happened completely differently. Like to assume like Kawaki arrives at the same conclusion in a different context. That's wild to me. He's in a completely different
Well, because
environment
the
around completely
context we're
different people.
providing is it's the same, but just in a slightly
not.
different location.
No, it's not.
Otherwise, it's the same.
Wait, it's not just the location, bro. It's the people that he's going to be around. I said cohabitation. He's going to be living in a dormitory around people his own age. They're going to be socializing with him. It's going to be like
He
distinct
socializes with them
difference.
anyway.
He doesn't do it to the degree that I'm talking about. And the fact that there are distinct differences in the scenarios opens up bold possibilities for there to be different conclusions his character arrives at. If I put
But
you in a
if you're
different-
so worried
hold on,
about
if I put you
Kawaki
in
being a
different
dangerous
situation
spy
than
and you're
are-
going to
if
expose
I-
him to even
if
more
I put
people,
if I put you in a different situation, just a week ago or a month ago than you are now, you wouldn't be the same person you are now because the situation changed.
That's not true. It
what
only
I'm
depends
saying.
if you react the same or not. In this case, why would Kawaki react differently?
Wait. Because there's new circumstances. if this hold on. If the situations are different, it's going to present different stimuli. It's going to react to those different stimuli differently, just by nature of the circumstances being different.
This
Like,
this
it
isn't the
must
butterfly
necessarily
aspect.
follow.
This comes down to cause and effect because the circumstances are Kawaki's talking to people his own age, which he's doing either way.
No,
The same people.
listen to what Kamui's argument was. He said the same thing happens. I'm saying I don't know that that's true because he's in a completely different context. You can argue Occam's
I don't
razor
really
is
think
most
it's
like,
completely different. I feel like this context is basically the same thing.
But even
but
then,
basically the same thing is not the same as the same thing. That's my entire point. It could be so similar that it's almost like, oh, well, it's just a few. But I'm saying it's going to be different just by nature of him being in a different context. You don't know
But
what's
the
going
point,
to
but
bear
your
it's different, it
overall
could be
point is that
worse,
this was
just
a
as
bad
likely.
decision and that this would be better. And I don't see any reason to believe that it would be any better for the end result.
if we
as
don't
far as I can
know-
tell,
That's what I'm
the
saying.
end
You
result would
don't-
probably
there's
be the
no way to
same
know.
because
It's a
all the important
hypothetical.
beats that led to the end result are still the same. He's surrounded by kids his age in both cases. He's surrounded by Naruto. The only difference is Himawari here.
but isn't
that
that
we
just
really
a risk
discussed.
then?
But you keep like excluding the differences that I mentioned where a whole family gets fucking destroyed. Like Naruto's kid is in danger. She's about to die.
Yeah,
He
Himawari
gets-
These
is
are
the one
emotional
difference because you had the
things now.
cohabitation
it's not just
with Boruto's
Himawari, bro.
the
It's not
family.
just Himawari. It's Boruto's life that gets altered. It's the entire world through
You
omnipotence.
said Boruto should be in the cohabitation mission.
No, I don't. No, wait. I don't care what happens to Boruto in terms of his occupation, but I do care about the character himself because he does have to live life without his family and like leave his village. But if he dies, that's fine. That's his job. He chose that path. Hinata, Himawari, they didn't choose that shit. The world did not choose to have their entire minds violated by omnipotence as a result of Kawaki's selfish desires.
That's
I don't
Ada.
even know if he arrives at that conclusion if the context is different. It's just a different like scenario. At bare minimum, it's better because if you take a look at the canon material where Naruto's decision is led, he dies versus Delta. If Konohamaru doesn't Konohamaru, the god, okay. If Kawaki doesn't jump in and like sacrifice his arm or some shit like that. Like if the bonds weren't that tight or anything like that occurred, then if something twists, some different thing happened, Naruto's dead, the Hokage's dead. What the fuck happens then? This Boruto fight back? Probably. He probably gets packed up unless Momoshiki takes over. And then like they capture the vessel and it's like fucking the end of the world. That's where Naruto's choices led.
Well, if the bond isn't as tight and Naruto dies, that's the point. The Naruto should be making a good bond with Kawaki then, like he did.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what he did. My problem is how he did it. Even if he does make the bond, I think he could have done that in the cohabitation situation. I think he could have done that.
I agree.
Minimum,
I really feel like everything plays out the same.
No,
the only
at bare
difference, which I'm
minimum,
giving
I'm
you
trying to
this difference.
mitigate
Oodie disagrees. That's fine. But Himawari and Hinata, include Hinata too, they are separated. But everything else is the same because you assigned Boruto to this mission. He's living with Kawaki. He's there. You assigned it. You allowed it. And you, Shikkadai and all of them are allowed to be here too. So they're really doing basically the same thing.
So I'll go over it. So my argument is at bare minimum, I'm trying to mitigate harm. I'm trying to say what decisions have Naruto made and then what happened as a result of them, right? So I don't even need to argue for the results because like the material, the conclusions agree with my premise because the world's fucked. All right.
No,
So
because
now-
real quick.
now
Pay
we're-
your percent. But if you're gonna talk about omnipotence, if Naruto doesn't do this, they die to Ishiki. So I don't feel like I think omnipotence is better than dying to Ishiki.
It's about knowledge at the time, though.
don't wait, doesn't do what? Burying mode? Wait,
No,
what
like
did-
if
like, what did
Kawaki
have-
doesn't like, never just paint the scenario you want Naruto to do.
I just did this on this entire conversation. I don't want him to have an unknown element. I don't want him to like emotionally imprint on some kid that he knows nothing about. Let's start there. I want him to actually not just like pay lip service to his advisor's advice, which is sound and reasonable given the lack of information they have, right? And I don't want him to be in some fucking echo chamber with like the jerk off circle jerk squad, the Kage. Like, oh, you know, that's a good choice, man. That dumb shit. No, I don't want him. I don't want this unknown dude. He could have been a child predator. He could be like fucking dealing your kid. You don't know this dude, bro.
That's
don't
why
want him-
Naruto's staying there. What if
I don't-
Kawaki is a
he
child
could-
predator?
he could've
Naruto's there to stop
bro,
him.
Bro, you're not listening, bro. Like,
You want him to
like,
only listen to
am I
Shikamaru then?
talking to a wall, bro? Like, it's kind of getting annoying. I'm telling you, Naruto would be around this dude. What do you mean, bro? I've been saying that the
So
entire
what the
time. I'm not
fuck do you want?
I'm not. I want to mitigate harm. I'm bringing up things that are
That's
harmful.
what he's doing.
No. I'm bringing up things that are harmful that are occurring in this situation. When Jigen shows up in the house, right? He just missed his wife and fucking kids. You're like, well. He put his wife and kids out.
And I
What else you
said
got? What else you got?
Hinata and Himawari are
Bro,
the two things. I'm saying
it's not
fine.
just
I'm
Hinata.
cool with it. Oodie disagreed.
It's not just Hinata. Okay, cool. So grant me that, because well, it makes sense. Let's talk about his decisions versus code. Like his decision with that, like the weight of the entire world. He literally told people like, yo, I'll handle this situation. The decisions he made with his own son, Boruto Uzumaki. Right, Gara was even like, "Yo, are you willing to like do what needs doing as the Hokage? Because this dude represents an existential threat, bro."
Well, this is a little bit separate from Kawaki, so I thought we were just referring to the Kawaki thing.
I'm talking about him as a Hokage. Like he sucks as a Hokage. That's my entire premise. The Kawaki was one aspect of that, right? Because I want to argue.
I've been focused on that, so
yeah. So code, like the whole world's about to be destroyed. This dude's sitting here whimpering and simpering and shit while Shikamaru's in the field. Like, yo, let's get busy. Let's cook. Like, yo, get going. He would have, if all things played out the way Code wanted them to. This dude not only causes genocide on Earth, but he goes to different planets. It's like a universal threat. And this dude can't even do anything because he learned these lessons in the war arc. That when people die, like there's time to mourn, but right now we are shinobi, those who endure. It's like fucking character regression. Like it's so fucking weird. And then the shit that happens with oh fuck, what shit, my mind is hold on, give me a second. Oh yeah, and then like the shit like with his boy Boruto, like that whole situation, like he's not making decisions like a Hokage. He's making emotional, like fucking appeal to like emotional decisions, and it makes sense because the whole world propped him up and like fucking coddled him as like the chosen one, light savior. We'll do the dirty, grimy shit while you like stay clean, right? And then what that gets you is this like fucking overly emotional motherfucker who can't disassociate like his like role as a father or like his role as whatever the fuck and his actual job burden of that position as Hokage, to where when he's in the field he can't fucking finish the job, he can't fucking perform, right? When it comes down to like decisions that need to be made about your fucking kid, this dude's out here having panic attacks and shit. He can't make like actual decisions that are going to be beneficial for the people he called family, his villagers, and then the world. Like we're dealing with fucking alien demons, bro. And then the Kawaki shit, and then like so. In contrast to someone like a Shikamaru, right? Like I could only imagine what a Tobirama would have done in this situation. The shit would have been cold. It would have been calculated, but it would have been the best decision for planet Earth. That much I know for a fact.
But you said it was unknown. It could be
cold.
worse.
He's slitting in Kawaki's throat. He's slitting Boruto's throat, and it's a good day. It's a bye. You got nothing, okay? I don't know, bro.
So real quick, because you said something earlier, but I feel like I'm getting a slightly mixed signal. Are you purely just saying he's being bad Hokage, or are you saying you dislike the characterization part? Do you agree like this is good character, this is what Naruto should do in character, or are you saying it's like bad characterization? Or like are you discussing the characterization at all here?
Well, it started off two ways. So he asked me, I think Oodie said, what did you say? Then what was your problem with Naruto at the start of Boruto?
Yeah, that was in response to the previous thing we were talking about, like directly responding to something you just said about someone else.
So that part, that's where I don't like his like depiction. But
it was end ever.
I'm sorry, Kamui, what did you say about the other?
So like the current stuff you're discussing, are you saying you don't like this from a characterization standpoint, or are you just saying it was a illogical Hokage decision, but it is good for his characterization?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So obviously you're saying it's bad Hokage decision, but character-wise, are you saying it's good or bad?
I think Naruto is a character that is not suited for the role of Kage. I think it was so. No, I'm not saying it's about his characterization. I don't think.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't
I
think
just
he's
want to make sure
cap-
because
I
earlier
don't
you
think
said something that got me a
Naruto.
little bit unsure.
I don't think the character Naruto fits with the position of Hokage. I think it's great that he had a dream, and I think it's great that he achieved it. I don't think it suits him. I just don't think it suits. I think it suits Shikamaru just fine. He's perfect in that fucking role. I think it could suit Kakashi. Like he's seen the horrors of the world through the Anbu, Black Ops, and all this other stuff. Like Naruto is too fucking naive and he's too fucking emotional. And the world allowed him to be that. Like he was the poster boy. He was the shining beacon on the hill. Everyone like, well, yeah. But when it comes to like making these like tough, hard decisions, I don't think he's even capable. Like even Sasuke's like, yo, Naruto's not capable of handling you, so I'll do it. I think Sasuke would have made a fucking fantastic Hokage. I think Itachi would have made. He just doesn't have the disposition. His like his established characterization tells me that. So that's why I would say like when you don't know that much about this fucking entity, this kid, all you know is Kara organization. They want him. Like he's like, oh, I know what it's like to go. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. You assuming the situation based upon like what you view on the surface. You need to listen to Shikamaru because he's viewing things with a clear head and not his fucking heart. I'm sorry if that sounds like cruel, but that's what's needed in this position because it's not just your life or your feelings on the line. It's the world, bro. Potentially, it's Konoha, your village. Potentially, it's your wife and kids. Potentially, right? Like that shit is weird. Yeah, things turned out the way that they did, but what if they didn't? Like the
So
decisions he
that's where,
made was
so
based
this
off of
is
no
where
information.
that's where I kind of want to make my point clear. I think this is Naruto's character flaw in a sense. He is relying on himself, solely on himself, thinking that he himself can do it all. That is one of his Boruto era flaws that he develops by being the strongest in the world.
But my
I
problem
was
is
just
that he
saying,
learns
I
from
think
that.
it worked out for the most part as good as it could have worked out given the circumstances.
And I'm saying like
Which you can call
my pro-
luck. That's fine.
my problem with the characterization is that he learned these lessons in Shippuden. Like that's why I say like the code stuff. Like you can say, oh well, it's different because it's his son, bro. It's someone dying in the middle of the battlefield. Like he doesn't have the. This is why I say his disposition doesn't work for the role. He doesn't have the luxury of doing that shit in the middle of battle. He has the burden of sucking it up like a responsible person that his position like holds and then getting the job done and mourning later. That's the burden of Hokage, and he does not clearly have the disposition for that, right? When I'm talking about um him wanting to like count on himself, like you said, like he goes it alone. He learned that shit in Shippuden with Itachi. When he was talking all that shit, Itachi like, yo, you can't go it alone. He had to remind. He learned this. So why is he regressing now? Like I don't understand. Like this shouldn't be his character now. He should understand that he can't go it alone. He should understand that he shouldn't just fucking fold or buckle in the middle of combat or whatever. There are tough, difficult decisions to be made. That's why Hiruzen had a Danzo. That's why he has a Shikamaru, because he is cold and calculating. He's still like, he has heart, of course, that's Shikamaru, but he needs to fucking lean on The two of them together, my God, if he didn't have Shikamaru, the village would be fucked. Like,
I think
don't know,
Naruto
bro.
recognizes that though. Like that's why he has Shikamaru around. He's not just doing it to make Shikamaru happy. Like Naruto recognizes that he needs Shikamaru.
But when Shikamaru gave him sound, reasonable advice given the situation that was currently in front of them, he just kind of like brushed dude off. He's like, oh, yeah, but like he just stuck with his own irrational position, which was him tethering his emotions to this unknown element at bare minimum. Never mind, like, oh, well, he was the strongest, so he can take on any potential threats, which is an assumption. And given his position, I don't think that's an assumption that you want to like kind of play around with like people's lives with, at least of all your families. That's what he did. And if the series wasn't like curated to get to a certain conclusion, you would look at what would actually occur. Dude dies, or at the very least, like, hey, I'm trying to mitigate harm, like make decisions to do that. It might be small things, but it's still harm nevertheless. Harm to your ward that you brought into your home, harm to your daughter potentially. The fact that she was even in that situation, the threat of death is insane to me. Like no father would ever want their kid in that position. Like why would you ever have her like there around Kawaki, knowing he's a target for like some powerful organization, and then you're like assuming that you'll be able to handle that. Okay, well, you want to bet your daughter's life on that? Well, that's what he did. And now because of his decisions, he's no longer around to handle the Shinju or whatever the fuck, like, or whatever threat that comes around. Like because of his decisions, omnipotence, and all this shit that like occurred, like his choices led to what occurred in series. Sasuke is no longer around, so now we gotta deal with the fucking local 15-year-olds to like hold down the fate of the world. Like what the fuck, bro? Like he should be here. Like this is Naruto we're talking about. He should be in the field, not his fucking kid. Although his kid's very powerful, like he's a boy. He should be playing Pokemon right now. Like I don't know. His family got destroyed. His village is about to get destroyed. We saw that in the flash forward scene. Like every conclusion that like gets reached, the world gets fucking fucked up and altered. Like there's a brand new evolution of creature around. He ain't nowhere to be found, and some timeless void. And Sasuke's packed up. Like just his decisions led to like very bad conclusions. And I think he could have made different choices that could have led to slightly different, better conclusions, even if slightly. That's all I'm saying. Given just by the nature of them being different, the possibility exists. But at the very least, he's not making rational decisions given like the lack of information he had at the time. And I think his position as Hokage, he should have more respect for that. That's a burden, man. You can't be like the president and be like, oh well, like my kid got captured by another nation, so like I'm gonna turn over like all our special weapons or whatever the fuck, just to get my one kid back. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, we gonna die if you do that, bro. Like, just for yourself, your selfish desire to get your. I'm sorry, you gotta make a sacrifice, bro. I know it's tough. It is what it is, and his kid was already dead. But I don't know. You can agree to disagree. It's fine.
I'll let Oodie talk for a little bit.
Kamui, I gave up on talking half an hour ago. This is your argument.
Yeah,
well, no, I'll let you talk. Like,
no, I'm not okay. If I'm talking, I'm not talking about this. We're either moving on or going back. And I say we go back to my original question, which wasn't this. It was so okay.
That's fine.
So I am curious though, because